What's up, everyone? Hope you're having a spectacular day so far today. It has been quite a long time since our last episode, so let's jump into a new one. Let's see how far we have come. Let's check out our progress. Today we're going to be looking at days 65 through 70, so let's jump right into it. At the beginning of day 65, I finished Fairy Tale Part 3. What this means is, number one, I can use fairy rings without having any sort of Drayman or Lunar Staff. Really nice convenience factor there. Also got a decent amount of XP from the quest, and also I get that magic watering can. Add that to my tool belt. Just another really nice convenience factor. Finishing off this quest line, really good to get done. The XP at the end of the quest got me 52 thieving, 74 magic, and 94 combat. After that, though, I went on to do the Kenneth's Concerns quest, and then after that I went on to do Salt in the Wound, which is a quest that had Kenneth's Concerns as a requirement. The reason Salt in the Wound is important, not only for a pretty decent XP reward at the end, which got me a defense level to level 63 and 2 summoning levels up to level 49, is that this is also a quest that is required for a task within the Dungeoneering task set. After this task, you are able to bind 225 ammunition in Daemonheim instead of the initial 125. Another nice convenience factor, and also just important to get those tasks done because, in my opinion, the Dungeoneering task set is one of the best task set rewards in the game. At this point, I'd collected enough fallen leaves to create the Pet of Autumn. This whole Pet of Seasons promotion was going on. I have no intention of completing the entire pet. Really cool to complete one part of it, though, because I think, in my opinion, the Pet of Autumn looks pretty cool. Easily the coolest out of all of the 4 pets. I don't think I'll use it that much, but I mean, it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to have in the bank should I ever really want to. I did just a little bit of Dungeoneering, got up to level 68, so that is really cool, but after that I went on to do a farm run. I had gotten level 69 farming. For some reason I missed the recording, but I did not unlock anything too special, so don't worry about missing anything too important, but I did get a nice farming level there. Went on to complete another Basilisk task. I really hate this task. I didn't even keep track of the magic XP I got from the task, but I did get around to 10k Slayer XP, so it could have been worse, but it's just such a tedious task. I really don't like tasks that require having a shield. Now at this point, I was on my way to my next task, which was a Turath task, and I was trying to set up my XP counter the way I do for all of my tasks, or at least the way I tried to do for all of my tasks, and I accidentally reset my total XP counter instead of my Dungeoneering XP counter. So that is 31.3 mil XP on a counter just reset. Very disappointing. I know this doesn't really have any effect on my actual gameplay. It's really no harm, but I really like having I really did like having my XP counter being pretty much equivalent to my total XP. So it is a shame there. It's going to make these end of day clips a little bit more difficult because I can't just look at the XP counter up there. I'm going to need to hover over my total XP, but it's just more disappointing than anything, and I wanted to share that with you guys. That way you would understand why that happened. That was a very big mistake on my part. But at 1825 total level and 13.33 mil total XP after finishing this task, which got me 17k ranged XP and around 5.2k Slayer XP, that was the end of day 65. Again, still sad I messed up that counter, but that's all right. We'll hit lots on that counter eventually. A little bit shorter than it would have been, but regardless, day 65 complete. Let's jump into day 66. Began day 66 with 64 Slayer during my Grow Worm task. You guys know I love Grow Worm tasks. Really great XP, really great profit, just all around a very great task to have. After that, I went on to get level 73 ranged during this task, which was nice. I'm really getting my range level up there. Once I get to level 75, that's a requirement for Prifdinus. And I do still have a lot of Prifdinus requirements to get down, but getting ranged pretty close is really cool. Even went on to get level 57 Prayer during this task. Before I did finish this task got me 52k ranged XP and almost 28k Slayer XP. So if you compare that to something like my Basilisk task, it's just so much better, and I really wish I would get more of these. After that, though, I was working on a Turath task, and I don't know if I was just really AFK or really tired or what, but I actually wound up slaying for around 5 minutes past where I completed the task, so XP counter's a little bit off. Anyway, I got around 24k ranged XP in my time there, and another 6k Slayer XP. So again, you can just see how much better Grow Worms are than something like Turaths. But another task down, out of the way. We are making progress toward having those points for the Slayer Helm. Got a cheeky Mask of Granite from Treasure Hunter. I'm pretty sure You need 75, maybe 80 Slayer to be able to do gargoyles, but regardless, really nice to have this for whenever I do have the level, because gargoyles are a pretty nice task. Helping Meg in player imports got me a huge agility lamp, which in turn got me level 71 agility. Now I need 75 for Prif, so it's gonna be really hard to get there, just in the fact that agility training is really slow XP, so getting a massive lamp like this is just so helpful. At this point, I really needed something to AFK, so I decided, let's work on some fire making, and I decided again to use yews as opposed to maples. I have done more than enough fire making with maples on both accounts. There is no way I'm continuing that, not to mention, yews are actually really cheap compared to what they used to be. There is no reason for me to not be using yews. So I got level 77 and level 78 fire making, which was really nice, really good boost. There's really not going to be a good or bad time for me to train fire making, especially if I'm bonfiring with other people there or using a portable brazier. The only thing I need to do is make sure that I am getting the flame gloves pretty soon after I get the level for it. That way I'm not missing out on that extra bonus XP. After that, though, during a farm run, cleaning some herbs that I had gotten during that farm run, got level 58 herb lore. Nothing too special unlocked here, but it is really good to be getting herb lore levels without having to buy them, just because herb lore can be a very costly skill, and getting that little bit of slow XP at a time has been very helpful. That did mark the end of day 66, though, at 1832 total level and just shy of 31.8 mil total XP. You'll even see in the chat that I do have around 100k oak planks selling, and the reason for that was it was an investment for bonus XP weekend or double XP weekend. It didn't really go too well on me. I had made profit on some planks. I lost money on these planks. Overall, I was pretty much break even. But you'll notice that in my earlier episodes, I had a decent chunk of cash, anywhere from 20 to 30, 40 mil. Whereas in the past couple episodes, I've been really low on money. That's because I had put my money into this investment. Did not go out as well as it could have. I could have done a lot better with it. But that is where that money went, and you'll see I am pretty much done selling them out, so I am getting my money back soon. Day 67 was incredibly productive, and I can't wait to show you guys all about it. So I started off the day with level 70 attack. This is a really big milestone in the fact that, of course, now I can use tier 70 melee weaponry. Why is that such a big deal? Well, first of all, it means stuff like just overall better DPS, easier slayer, etc. Standard things you would think of. But more importantly, it means I can now use crystal weaponry, and that includes the crystal halberd. So I went and bought one of these. And after that, I actually wound up building my player-owned, or an altar, a gilded altar in my player-owned house. But the reason I bought a crystal halberd is that this is actually incredibly good for training combat in the abyss, just because it's a halberd. So you have that 3x3 attack range as opposed to just a 1 square attack range. So any sort of two-handed AoE abilities are just that much more effective. And I did only try out the abyss for a little while. I didn't really bring a whole lot of food. I wasn't really prepared. I just wanted to try it out, see if I was able to sustain myself there, and it turns out that I am able to. So should I ever want to grind myself out there, I can. And just having that possibility opened up for me is just so good, because I'm sure you guys know, training in the abyss is just ridiculously overpowered XP per hour, especially for using a crystal halberd. So again, such an important level. A little while after that, though, did a little bit of dungeoneering and got level 69 dungeoneering, which is nice. This unlocks the last second set of abandoned floors, or the last floor within the second set of abandoned floors, which is really nice, getting very close to that occult floor milestone, which is going to be really good. A big boost in XP. I went back to Greater Demons and finished off this task. I had gotten 42 ranged XP and about 18k Slayer XP, and this doesn't include the melee XP I had gotten beforehand. So very good task in terms of XP, maybe not so great in terms of Slayer XP, but in combat XP it's very good. Drops, not too special, but still a decent task, one that I don't think is really worth canceling. After that, though, I got a Calphite task. This is a task I really don't enjoy. It's kind of similar to Basilisks in the fact that it's not a whole lot of XP, the drops are not really good, but it's not worth canceling. So anyway, I had gotten level 65 Slayer, also went on to complete this task. I had gotten almost 20k ranged XP and 7k Slayer XP, so I think it might be better than some tasks, maybe better than the really short tasks like a 40 dragon task, but it could have been a lot better. Checking that Slayer level I had gotten, though, 65 unlocks Dust Devils, and it is also a requirement for Blood Runs Deep. Blood Runs Deep, if you don't know, is a very important quest just in terms of free XP. If you have a certain prayer level, you can put 3 150k lamps into prayer just So a free 450k prayer XP is absolutely monumental, saves a lot of money, saves a lot of time, and I'm really looking forward to being able to do that in the future. Another small dungeoneering trip got to level 70 dungeoneering. Really nice, just in the fact of another level 70 skill. Decent unlocks in terms of things like the Scroll of Daemonheim. Maybe some of the necklaces will be useful in the future. Not anytime immediately because I can't really afford to put tokens into that. I need to put tokens into something more important. But I am only 5 levels away from the dungeoneering requirement for Plague's End as well. So it is very nice to be making progress there. I did the Troll Stronghold quest, and with the lamps from that quest, I had gotten level 50 summoning and level 51 summoning. These levels got me to level 95 combat, which was really nice, and actually that 50 summoning got me to all skills above level 50, so a really cool and interesting milestone there. It's going to be quite a while until I have everything above level 60, and even more so level 70, but just really great progress, really loving that free summoning XP, helping me out so much. Now, the reason I did Troll Stronghold was so that I could finally access the God Wars dungeon. I have actually been in kind of a mood to try a little bit of God Wars Dungeon PVM, especially because I have some max friends wanting to take me because my levels are starting to get up there and able to, so I went with a buddy Green of mine. We actually had a very successful trip, but while I was getting kill count, I got level 71 attack. Now you'll see in the chat that Green got a Tacits drop, so that's really good, and the fact that we can now split a Tacits drop or however we decide to work out the splits. But the important part of this is this was only on my 15th kill count. I was streaming this and I was just so hyped over it. It was mind-blowing because usually I have really bad luck when I'm PVMing. So that's kind of a really discouraging thing in the fact that if I'm usually unlucky, I don't really get anything. It's very demotivating in the fact that I just don't really want to go. It doesn't really feel worth my time. But on this account, this stupid, poor-ass newbie account, to be getting a Bandos split was just mind-blowing. I was so excited over it. I went on to get an Elite Clue Scroll drop from one of the minions, and I got 72 attack shortly after that. Got the typical Glory of General Gardor book, obviously destroyed it, but it's nice to have this in the player-owned house just to show that I have been doing some God Wars Dungeon. Now, you weren't able to see it in the chat because it's not actually a broadcasted drop, but we did get boots. You can see Green calling it in the chat, and before that, we even got a Bandos helm as well. So just absolutely insane luck, honestly, to be getting 3 drops within 1 hour. I guess it just means that my luck in the future is going to be really bad. But I teleported out and I price checked some of my loot. You'll see 114k in drops just because I was the one responsible for holding a lot of the stackable drops. I also have 1.3 mil in my pouch. I had came there with a flat 1 mil, so 304k of that was coin drops. Just because we wanted to be able to keep track of everything that we gathered easily, so I picked up the 19k coin drops. He kind of left them on the ground for me to grab, while he was the one picking up things like the rune drops and the orc bones to yak them so that we could split them up later. Now, when I said we got a Bandos helm earlier, I lied. I remembered it improperly, but looking at this clip shows me that we actually got a Bandos helmet just after I left. I needed to teleport out because I was just low on food. Those aren't brews, those are super defense potions just because I have really shitty defense and I needed something to stop me from dying so much. But Green did one more kill, or maybe he finished off that kill as I had left, and we got a Bandos helmet as well. So just absolutely insane luck again. Now in the trade here, you'll see everything that we got from that trip. I had traded him everything that I had gotten just so that way he would be able to trade it all back to me in one trade. That way you can see the total value in the trade window. 5.5 mil or somewhere close to that in 1 hour of Bandos split between 2 people. That was just it. It felt a lot better to me than I thought Bandos would be. I didn't expect it to be around like, was that like 2.75 mil per hour? If the drops are split evenly between 2 people. I think we got really lucky with those 3 drops, honestly. It was just absolutely mind-blowing. And the thing about this that really pissed me off, just made me really angry, was the fact that once Green had given me these drops, he wouldn't take any of them back. And I understand his logic in the fact that he's already maxed, he has a lot more money than me, he doesn't need it, but I'm trying to be doing this account as fairly as I can, and I honestly did not deserve all of this money from the drops because I was doing only a fraction of the DPS while he was doing a lot of it, and he was tanking, and he was supplying me with food along the way because I kept running out. So, Green, I do really appreciate it. Thank you for the drops, and I promise you next time we go to God Wars Dungeon, everything will be split much more in your favor because I did not deserve this, and I really do not like that you made me take all of this. Just for confirmation, though, I opened up Green's adventure log just to show you guys we did get the Tacits, the boots, and the Bandos helmet. And actually, before we had started this trip of Bandos, Green only had 1 Bandos kill, and I had 0. So at the end of this, it was kind of cool in the fact that we had pretty much the same Bandos kill count. After this, though, the viewers in the stream wanted to come to Bandos with me, so we decided to do, I don't even want to call it a mass, but it started out as 3 people and it grew to 5 people by the end of the instance. So it definitely wasn't any sort of Bandos mass, but it was still definitely more than enough people to drop Bandos very quickly and also made splits kind of awkward. We actually didn't wind up splitting anything properly. It just kind of became like, well, whatever you got to keep. Right, because we didn't get any sort of signature drops. I guess it's kind of the whole 3 drops in one instance coming back to bite me, and the fact that in the next instance we got nothing. I did get 73 HP and 73 attack during this instance though, so God Wars Dungeon has actually been really nice for combat XP, especially, I say God Wars Dungeon in general, but I mean Bandos, and I do plan on doing other God Wars Dungeon in the future. Now, it really blended in with the loot share chat and everything. I didn't even notice that this had happened until later, but I unlocked Devotion and I also unlocked Transfigure because I know I did not get these through Tuska. So Devotion especially is going to be a very useful prayer in the future because Devotion gives 100% accuracy or 100% protection from protection prayers. So very important and useful in higher level PVM. Transfigure is not really a great ability, but I guess it's kind of nice to have for completionist's sake, just in the fact that, well, I mean, I have it in case I ever do need it or if it's ever buffed or something like that, but really nice. Especially getting these two means the only ability I have left to unlock from Tuska is Tuska's Wrath, and that's going to be really important to get as well. At the end of the instance, though, decided to price check all of my loot because, again, we didn't do any fancy splits after this. It was just kind of whatever you got, you got. I had 735k in loot, which, honestly, for a 3 to 5 person split, not bad at all. I am definitely content in taking that. I don't, especially after that last instance, think I deserve anything more from that, so I am more than happy with this. A Divine Box Trap after this trip, though, got me to level 70 Hunter, another skill past the level 70 milestone, which is super exciting to me just in the fact that, 70's cape is going to be a pretty cool milestone, not in the fact that, having level 70 in a skill means anything in terms of, wow, it's a lot of XP, but just in the fact that it looks pretty nice and it is a sizable amount of progress. 70 Hunter also unlocks Marmoset plants in the Herbler Habitat, which basically means that I can start hunting Jadinkos. I don't really want to hunt Jadinkos a lot, but the option is there should I really need to train Hunter extensively. But at 1844 total level, 32.5 mil XP, and a total of 155 General Gardor kills, that did mark the end of day 67. I told you guys it was going to be productive, and it was really productive. This was like a day full of 25 clips, so you really can't complain to that one. A lot of really good profit from Bandos and also a lot of really good levels. So it's just overall a fantastic day. But let's check out day 68 and see how it compares. Began the day with level 70 farming. So this ties into what I was just saying about hitting level 70 milestones all around the board is really exciting. Didn't unlock anything special, but it looks pretty damn cool if I do say so myself. Working on a Red Dragon task, got level 74 ranging, really close. 75 ranged is a requirement for Prif, as I've already said, so getting very close in that regard. I do still need 75 in just several other skills, though, so it doesn't really mean a whole lot to be that much closer in one skill, but it's still really nice. Finished this task with 14.5k or so ranged XP and 5k Slayer XP. So this is what I was kind of talking about, how in like short dragon tasks don't give a lot of XP, but I mean they are good profit, so there really isn't a whole lot of room to complain. But there are better tasks. There are much better tasks. Completed my troll invasion for the month. I always do the 7 hard waves just because it's easier. Troll invasion, ever since Evolution of Combat, was never really scaled up to the same sort of difficulty that Evolution of Combat has in terms of NPCs should be scaled to be harder, but they're still very easy. So just really easy to knock them all out. If you guys aren't already doing that, saves a lot of time and effort. But regardless, 20k slay, or summoning XP rather, and got to level 52. 52 is important though, because 52 means I can finally use Spirit Terror Birds. Really nice convenience should I ever need a Beast of Burden, and it also means that, should I ever need to run all over the place. Say for example, should I get like, I think it's 92 fire making, maybe 91, 94, somewhere along there, where you're able to do the beacon minigame to get the Inferno ads. Having a Spirit Terror Bird can be really helpful. AFK'd some fletching though, got level 74, nothing too important from that. I just really needed something AFK, and sometimes fletching is just my go-to in the fact that I always have logs in the bank to fletch, and it's still very AFK, so it's definitely better than doing nothing. This day though, as you can tell, I did hardly anything, very not productive. I must have been very busy with schoolwork or something bugging me in real life to not scape as much as I should be in terms of overall progress, but still 1848 total level and 32.85 mil total XP. Let's jump into day 69, and trust me, day 69 is a lot more like day 67 than day 68 was. There is just so much to talk about in day 69. Started off the day by getting a Basilisk head drop. Now, I actually did have a Basilisk head in my old Playground house for a long time, and that's just because I didn't ever get lucky enough to get anything else better to put in it. Now, I don't think I'm going to add this to my Playground house. I'd really, really much rather have something like an Abyssal head or the 3 KBD heads, but it's still nice to throw in the trophy tab in my Slayer tab, just as something to show that, you know what, I have done a whole lot of Basilisk kills. Here's something to show for it. Finally completed that task at 41k Magic XP, I'm sorry, and 12.8k Slayer XP, so not too bad, but again, I just really, really do not like this task. Working on a Troll task, though, another tedious task I'm not a big fan of, I got level 64 Defense. Really nice. I really want to get this up a lot higher than it is, just because T70 Power Gear would be super, super convenient to be able to use, and also just in the fact that having low defense has not been beneficial to me when we go to Bandos. Finished this task shortly after, though, got 33k Defense XP and almost 8k Slayer XP. Another very poor task, but in my opinion, I'd still rather have a Troll task than a Basilisk task because I can use dual wielding or I can use two-handed weapons and finish it that much faster than I can if I'm using a one-handed weapon and a shield. Finished an Iron Dragon task immediately after that and got 33k Defense XP and 15k Slayer XP, so even though I am not getting a lot of XP per task, it's definitely adding up and it's been really good progress overall. Did not get anything good from Dragons, however, actually, to this day, have never gotten a Visage on either of my accounts, so should that ever happen, that will be incredibly exciting for me, even though I know that they're pretty much worth garbage now. Doing some dungeoneering, I finally ran into the door that I needed to use a portent on to be able to complete the Tier 2 task set. Now, you guys have heard me ranting about this through several episodes now. Tier 2 of the dungeoneering task set is just so incredibly important, especially as someone who takes dungeoneering much more seriously than I should and cares a lot about speed and efficiency within dungeoneering. Tier 2 task set means that I start every single floor with 40 laws and 40 cosmics, which means I don't need to bind either of them and make the other one. It means I can bind a ranged weapon, which is just so much better in dungeoneering, and I don't need to spend the time making the runes, so it's just so convenient. I am so happy to get this done. The summoning XP reward, or I should say the lamp from finishing the task set, I put into summoning XP and got to level 53, so more really good progress. I have not trained summoning through actually buying supplies in a long time, and the only times I really did was pretty much just for a daily challenge or two. So it's just been so good to see so much summoning XP come onto this account without really doing any real summoning training. You'll even see that I have almost as much bonus XP in summoning as I do actual XP, and there was a point where I had more bonus XP than actual XP. So it's really, really great to see this coming to use, and I know once I do finally train summoning, it's just going to fly up because of that bonus XP. I decided I wanted to knock out the Falador task set, or at least some of it, and the reason for that is just because I've been doing a lot of farm runs. Those farm runs include the Falador patches, and even though it's not a whole lot of extra XP for every farm run, it is definitely going to add up over time, and the sooner I get this, the sooner it can start adding up and benefiting me. So I completed Tier 1 of that task set. Really nothing special from it other than the fact that I can restore my prayer with it and a little bit of extra XP during the farming plots. So again, nothing special, but it is going to start helping. To complete Tier 2 of that task set, though, there were a few quests I needed to knock out. That included the Creature of Fen Constraint, so I got that done. Really good to get that done. Did not really get anything special in terms of reward, though, so really nothing too positive to say about that. But after that, I did go on to finish the Garden of Tranquility. This is a quest that I don't enjoy a lot, per se, just in the amount of waiting it takes and the amount of times that farming patches get diseased and you have to replant them, so it can be very tedious, but I can't deny that it does make the Falador Palace Garden look a lot better, so it is kind of nice in that respect. I went on to do rat catchers after that. This was the last requirement I had to do to complete the task set, but I will say to you, if you do plan on doing rat catchers, you should definitely have a cat instead of a kitten. It was so difficult to catch all of the rats that I needed through just having a kitten. Cats have a lot higher of a catch rate, so I would highly recommend, if you have the time, raise that kitten up first, because it'll just make your life so much easier. And I was doing this on stream, and I was so incredibly frustrated. After that, though, I knocked out the remaining the remaining tasks I needed to do to unlock the rewards, the Tier 2 rewards of the Falador task set. Again, really nothing special that it gives other than the fact that a little bit more farming XP. Once I get into the higher tiers, though, it's going to get a lot better. And I'm looking forward to then, but I have level requirements and quest requirements holding me back. So I'm stopping at tier 2 for now, but I do intend on completing this in the future. I was streaming throughout doing these task sets, and I also was streaming while I was here at Saradomin God Wars Dungeon. A buddy of mine, Big D Dog, wanted to take me to Saradomin. I believe he had a Saradomin task or something along those lines, and just wanted me to tag along. So I decided to do so. I also went with my buddy Ward. We had a very good time. I got 75 magic while getting kill count. The reason that's important is I can now use a Staff of Light, and I can use the Tendrils ability for magic. Just a really, really good ability. Tendrils all around the board just do a lot of damage, so they're really nice to have. It's also required for a handful of quests. Wild Gothic Sleeps, Nomad's Requiem, and the Elder Kiln. I actually have all the requirements I need for the Elder Kiln now, so I think I should definitely look into doing that, because getting that Tacozo is just going to be super, super convenient. But 75 magic off a kill count was pretty nice. Once we went into Commander Ziliana, though, the luck struck again. You'll remember how I got the Tacits on my 15th kill with green. We got a Whisper of Saradomin drop on my first kill of Ziliana. So that was really cool. Even though Whisper, Murmur, and Hiss really are not worth a lot, it was just crazy. Honestly, it just kind of threw me for a loop. I was so surprised and excited to have actually gotten a drop that easily. Just 3 kills later, though, we got a Murmur of Saradomin. So it's just insane how lucky we were. We did not get a whole lot else during that trip, though. Ward had gotten another Murmur of Ziliana, or Murmur of Saradomin, rather, from Ziliana at our 48th kill count, and it just, I think that was pretty much all we got, was those three necklaces, so pretty much one each is how we split it up. And I think we split up the cash as well after that, but it's still pretty cool, though, to be getting 3 drops in an hour. You'll see me price checking the loot that I had gotten. This does include some food, so it's a little bit off. So we'll say 200k plus like 98k from my pouch. So around 300k that I personally had gathered from the trip. They obviously got a lot more because they were getting actual drops. I was just kind of picking up the stuff that they didn't pick up that stacks, or stuff from the minions. We decided to just kind of leave the drops as they were because we didn't really get anything too special that was worth selling and splitting. It was overall just kind of junk and 3 necklaces. So Ward decided to give me one of his necklaces, and then Big D Dog gave him one of his. That way it was 1 all around the board. Really, really cool to have gotten a Murmur. This is useful for arranging, I believe. So just a nice upgrade, something that I don't need to buy. And 73 kills in an hour really was not too bad. I will say, though, that Saradomin decided to just completely bash on me with my terrible defense level and the fact I was using Batwing. So I don't really plan on going back there until I have either better gear, better defense, or just a better reason to come here, because the drops really were not anything too special, and you're kind of counting on those higher tier drops from Saradomin to make really good profit. Now, I had actually had a Saradomin Followers Challenge while I was there. This was a lot of the reason that we went, on top of, I believe, Big D Dog had a Reaper task for Saradomin, so the overlapping factors basically just pulled us there. Sadly, though, including kill count, I had only gotten 60 kills there. I do no damage. I am pathetic. I am terrible. I am so bad and such a leech, honestly, that I just got no kills. 20 kills throughout the entire instance of Saradomin, which was basically all minions, is just so bad. I felt just like such a leech, but I did wind up going back and getting those done eventually. You may or may not remember that in my first day of being a member doing some Slayer, maybe it was first Slayer task or second Slayer task, somewhere along there. I don't know if it was necessarily the first day of being a member, but I had gotten an effigy, and I hadn't opened it yet. I don't know why, because the longer you have an effigy, the more you're kind of hurting yourself, and the fact that you can only hold 5 effigies at a time, and each one you hold decreases your chance of getting another one. So ideally, you want to be opening them as soon as you can, and I had just been procrastinating this for so long. So I decided to ask my buddy Ward to help me open it, and he did. I was just at a loss of what to use it on, honestly, because it scales to level very, very exponentially, and the fact that if I was to use it on summoning, it would just be honestly a waste, because I could get a lot better summoning XP through other methods. So eventually I decided to put it in agility. I got 17.7k agility XP, which honestly I think was much, much more worth it than getting, say, like 7 or 8k summoning XP, just in the fact of the amount of time it'll save, and the fact that agility is overall, to most people, not a fun skill to train. But at 1851 total level and 33.45 mil total XP, that was the end of day 69. A lot of great progress. Any day I do God Wars Dungeon seems to just provide us with so much interesting stuff to talk about in these episodes, and it's really fun stream content as well. I'm going to throw my stream my Twitch stream in the description of this video in case you're ever interested in stopping by. I highly recommend it. If you enjoy it, feel free to drop a follow and stay, but it's just been a lot of fun, honestly. That will mark the end of this episode, though. At day 65 through 69, we had a lot of really interesting progress, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you drop a subscribe. That way you know when my next one is out. It should be in the pretty near future. I try to put out 1 to 2 of these episodes a week. Other than that, guys, thank you again so much for watching. It does really mean a lot to me. Have an incredible day. Stay happy, and I cannot wait to see you in my next episode where I will return and I will rebuild.
I will